This week on Bitrate.
How long do you think it's been since your wife has seen another penis, like live?
Guys, if you want to show us some love, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and welcome to the show. Hey everyone, and welcome to Bitrate, the podcast where two boomers and Joey talk all things gaming, streaming, and introduce you to some of the best Twitch channels I promise you've never heard of. Today on the show, we are getting triggered in Rogue Company. We're discussing why it's so satisfying to murder your friends in Among Us. And then Jared's going to tell us why Fall Guys is his new favorite drinking game. So I'm your host, Chris. And as always, Jeremy's here.
Huh? What's up? What's up, guys?
How you doing, dude?
What's up, guys?
I had a rough night last night. Hence the...
I can see that. And you may notice Joey's back. Joey!
Hey.
What's
how's it
up,
going?
dude?
Wait, there's where the camera is. Hey.
Hey, what's up, camera?
How you doing? How you feeling,
I'm
man?
doing good. There's always something wrong with me these days, so, you know, just rolling through. Just trying to,
I feel you.
keep in step. But we're doing good.
Glad to have you back, man.
Thank you.
So we've got a lot of gaming news this week, guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of this because there's a lot of stuff on the table right now. First of all, Rockstar has rolled back a recent update to Red Dead 2, which basically killed the game. That update that they had, it removed NPCs, animals, caused player horses to run erratic, among a bunch of other things. Just basically destabilized the game. Content creators basically had a field day over on Reddit. So if you guys haven't checked out that Reddit page for that, do that. It's hilarious.
Did they bring, look at my horse is a did they bring that meme back? 'Cause that's what I thought when I was seeing all the horse glitches.
You're gonna have to jump into Reddit to find out, man. But right. Yeah, like so Rockstar rolled that back, so the game should be back to normal now, at least for now. Other news, Tony Hawk is renaming a decades-old trick, currently known as the Mute Air, after the skater that created it, Chris Weddle. Chris is a deaf skater, and the origin of the name was basically just a take on his disability. So Hawk is attempting to help Weddle take back the name, which is pretty cool, I think. I mean, you don't hear that happening too often, so the trick will now be known throughout the games, at least, as the Weddle grab. So
I like it.
Personally, I'm looking forward to that remake. I love Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh,
so.
dude. I wonder if there's gonna be like a open multiplayer mode where the three of us can go in and like skate this same park, and that would be awesome, dude.
Well, I mean, there was like a versus, wasn't there? Like way back when, like horse. Didn't they have horse in that game?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
So I mean, that'd be cool. I guess that the biggest news that's been happening over the last 2 days is in a big like FU to Apple and Google, Epic and Fortnite. They've done some stuff, and let's we're gonna unpack that real quick. So for those of you guys that aren't aware, the App Store and the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, when Fortnite tried to come in, basically those app stores charge upwards of 30% for downloads and what that means is like if you were playing the game, if you were buying stuff, then those stores were taking a 30% cut. And a lot of developers don't like that. They don't feel like that's fair. So Epic decided what it was going to do is it was going to say basically F you guys, and they devalued its own currency. So its own in-game V-Bucks that you buy. And what they did was if you were, I mean, all across the board, instead of $9.99 for 1,000 V-Bucks, they lowered it to $7.99, right? So if you're playing on mobile and you're using one of those platforms, you're using either Apple or Google, a couple of days ago when you logged in, if you were going to try to buy V-Bucks, you could do it two ways. You could either go direct payment directly through Epic, and the price was $7.99, or if you wanted to go through the app store that you were using, it was $9.99. So it was like a big fu. In turn, both Apple and Google basically they banned the app from the app store for violating terms of service. And then Epic went through, and before they filed a civil litigation suit against both companies, they they basically clapped back with a parody of an old Apple ad from 1984, like the very first like Mac ad. And it was amazing. I mean, it's amazing. You have to like, this has got big implications for both Apple and Google, as well as Epic, only because there's a lot of antitrust stuff going on with Apple and Google right now. So now was the time to hit back at that. And for those of you that don't know, a 40% stakeholder in Epic is also the parent company that owns like WeChat and TikTok and all the stuff that's kind of like in the news right now for being banned from the US. So this has got big implications.
Is it Tencent? Is that Tencent? Or
I think
is
it is
a different company.
I think it is Tencent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. China-based.
Well, and it's not like we're talking about just a little bit of money here. I mean, Fortnite says, or Epic says they've processed 1.6 billion with a B dollars in direct payments. I mean, it's not like it's just a couple bucks here and there. That's a big hit to both Apple and Google.
Well, and they don't say like how much they've processed on mobile, but I mean, this is essentially like the biggest game in the world, right? They're gonna try to throw their weight around a little bit,
and they absolutely can. You know what I mean? And and that's the thing. That's why this was so strategic to do it at a time where Google and Apple are facing scrutiny in DC already. You know, the thing that surprised me, I was reminded of how big Fortnite is. My 6-year-old, about to be 7 nephew in his first grade class, one of his homework assignments was to color in one of the you guys remember one of the original women heroes, the soldier one that's like carrying an assault rifle? He colored in like a knockoff of that, and he's like, this is from Fortnite. And I was like, oh, why'd you do that? He's like, it was for homework. I was like, it's big. You know what I mean? He's a 6-year-old. Like, everybody knows Fortnite. And even as someone who doesn't play it anymore, like, I think it's awesome, dude. They did it with a rebel yell. It was...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, dude.
The strategery was high with that.
Viva la revolution.
Let's see. In other news, the Fall Guys devs are thanking fans for their patience during the launch week struggles. Basically, the Fall Guys launch was fraught with server overload and instability. So as a thank you for putting up, the company gave all players that logged into the game before midnight, August 13th, basically 5,000 kudos, the in-game currency, and also a special cactus skin. So if you haven't logged in since then, do that and spend the kudos.
Which I think is broken, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, what? The kudo system?
No, the cactus skin. Remember, me and Joey.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. But I'll stick with you on this one. I'm just gonna believe what you think. But that game was worth the server issues. I don't even care. That game is fun.
And we're gonna get back into that one a little bit later too. So, and then I guess the biggest news: 2 of our favorite streamers are back. Are back online. Shroud came back to Twitch with a massive 516,000 viewers this past week. 516,000 concurrent viewers. But I think the talk of the town has been Dr. Disrespect, who returned to the live streaming world via YouTube, who hit 510,000 concurrent viewers on the day that he streamed. But his starting soon screen or whatever it was, that had millions of people viewing it at any time before he started. So crazy. Now, Jared, I know you watched Doc's first stream back. What can you tell us about the epicness that unfolded that first stream back?
His starting soon screen was 3 hours long. Let's just start with that one. Like he totally he totally got everybody. And the day before, he basically just played his album that he's been making. Like I think Chris, you were saying like, "Oh, Doc's back." Oh, wait a minute. It's just a picture,
Music video?
an artist, yeah, a music video, or the artist picture of like a gas station and just music playing. So, in true Doc form, he played it up as much as he possibly can. When he went live, it was like watching a movie. It wasn't like, hey, you know, Rummus is 714 or Shiesty Chris or Shabadoo is we're live, you know, like wasn't a standard starting screen. It was a full blown 10-minute movie production with his different cutscenes. Like it gave Doc fans everything that they wanted and more in his comeback to streaming. Once he
It's
did,
consistent. He said he was going to do that.
yeah, he blew the roof off. Like the big conversation was how many viewers was Doc going to have on his return, and was it going to be under or over 1 million? Well, it turned out about 510, right? But when he started streaming, like it was still the same streaming setup. There was nothing kind of crazy about it. I know
510 average
510 average. That's right. I know he's
means that at some there could have been millions overall.
yeah. I think there's going to be he's wearing a new headset that he said he can't talk about yet. He's using a new microphone that he says he can't talk about yet, but it's there. The hallmarks of a true Doc stream are there. He did go on to address the issue with Twitch, and he says that he still currently doesn't know why he was banned, and that he's letting the lawyers take care of it, whatever that means. So
good for him. I hope if he deserves it, that he gets I hope he gets what he deserves in either sense, you know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, there's millions of dollars on the table here. I mean, we did discuss it in length in previous podcasts about how much money was kind of at stake here, but I think that he's probably going to try to go for the Grand Slam, and good for him. He did during the first 10 minutes of his, after when he started actually talking with people about the Twitch thing and everything like that, he had a hard time with the YouTube interface. So we've also talked about which one is better, Twitch or YouTube, and so on and so forth. It seems people who are making the jump over to YouTube find it a little bit cumbersome. So hopefully YouTube will rise to the occasion now that they have the biggest name, and redo their UI and make it more streamer friendly. Hopefully. So
they will. Twitch took a lot from Mixer, the good things from Mixer, and started to integrate them into Twitch, and then now the Mixer streamers are back on Twitch. Let's not forget about Ninja with his measly 70K average viewers his first day back on Twitch. So yeah, I mean, if
measly.
I don't at least exactly. Well, comparatively,
Sure.
it is. I don't think in any time in the near future, and I don't have a ballpark as to what near is, I don't think YouTube's going to be real competition for Twitch, but there is definitely, if they keep up being competitive, there could be a big rivalry going on in the future. You know what I mean? As to where people choose to go. You know what I mean? And I think that's basically what it is the audience size and the streamer interface.
Well,
is what gets it.
Competition is super healthy, especially in this market, right? You need somebody to push you.
It's what this country is founded on, dude.
Yep, exactly.
Capitalism for the win.
So,
yep.
Speaking of capitalism, let's talk about some games.
Let's talk about some
All
games.
right.
So, I mean, this last week, like I've been a little MIA, but before that, or in between this week and our last episode, been playing some Rogue Company. I know, Jared, I know you have too. What are your thoughts? Why don't you talk to us about Rogue Company?
So Rogue Company is a third-person competitive shooter, of which you can it takes a couple different games into it, like a Valorant and a CS:GO, with sort of elements of a little bit of Maybe you could maybe even throw Overwatch in there if you really wanted to, but I really don't think it has 3 game modes. I personally like playing Strikeout, which is you get a certain amount of lives, you have to control a point, and so on and so forth. Different characters in there have different abilities. There's one healer, which everybody is a shooter at first, right? So everything, all the other abilities are second tier. But I've had a lot of fun playing it. We've played it with people within our community. I played with Chris, I played it with Joey. I've also played it with Hamsa and Javi as well. It's a good time. Like I don't really take it at all seriously. Like I did with Overwatch or anything like that. Like I go in there, and it's completely casual for me, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Chris?
Yeah, I think so understanding that I mean, technically it's an alpha, right? It's early access. It's not even like open beta. Um, right? I mean, that's still the case, right? With this one?
I think it is an alpha.
Is it alpha?
Yeah, I don't. It's definitely not full release.
Yeah. So, I think the first couple of times I played it, like right when I got access to it, I felt like it was a little there's a little something off with it. Like, you know, I feel like I've got a decent aim on me, but the games that we were getting into were just completely one-sided. The enemy team would have 50 kills and our team would collectively have like 12, you know? Took a few days off of that, and I feel like each time I've gone back to it, it's gotten better. It's gotten more. So I don't know if they've changed anything with their matchmaking, or I know that they've been working on like cheaters and things like that going through there. But whatever they're doing, I applaud it. I mean, I think it's a lot more fun than I thought I was gonna have with it. Because I'm an FPS guy. Like third person shooters is a little bit different to me. There's a little bit of a maybe like an hour sort of like pickup time that you need to play in order to feel it out and kind of get used to it. But other than that, like I think it's cool. I think it'll be good.
Joe?
Yeah, like Jared said, I think the casual, the the casualness of it. I don't think that's a word, but for me, it also feels it fairly casual. I don't get salty about it. There were, like Chris said, there were things in the beginning that were a little iffy because all of us here, none of us are pro gamers. You know what I mean? We aren't able to play these games 10 hours a day. But for people who game as a hobby and stuff like that, we're all pretty good. And there were some iffy things when we first started playing it, but I've played it a couple times since, and I do actually think it's gotten a little better, and maybe it's just because I've become more warm to the game. I've gotten used to it. Also, like Chris said, the third person shooter is, when you're used to first person shooters, the third person, it's almost Fortnite-y. It's made by Epic. I think, they use basically the same engine and just kind of reskin things and tweak things and stuff like that. And so if you're good at Fortnite, I think you'll go into Rogue Company a little bit easier. For me, it wasn't as easy. It took time to get used to. And it's a very different shooter in its own respect, third person or first person anyway. It's a different idea. But all in all, I really like it.
So there was one mechanic to it that I really did like, which was the ability to switch shoulders. You know what I mean? Like if you're right-handed, you want to peek around a corner, you can switch shoulders to kind of peek around the other way.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
I feel like that's an
mechanic.
absolute must in a third person. If a third person shooter doesn't have that, it's no good.
Yeah, yeah. And then with Chris, you're right there. You okay?
Yeah, nice chair, dude.
I
like your chair.
Did you guys hear that?
No, but
Okay.
I thought you were okay.
Did you fart?
No, I had to sneeze, but I had to reach the mute button, so I was like leaning over to reach it. I was just sorry, my bad.
No, it's all good, dude.
The one mechanic I don't like is the sensitivity difference between the over the shoulder and then the ADS.
You gotta go into that and change it.
It's so dramatic. Like Like you know, like I kind of play with a medium sensitivity on my over the shoulder, and then you go ADS, and then I gotta throw my mouse off the screen or off my table.
Jared's a wrist gamer. And so I'm not making fun of you. And
No.
so
He's a wrist gamer. Sorry.
well, you know,
Had to.
I tend to I use my wrist for slight adjustments, but I use my arm for my big adjustments. And when you play more with your wrist, your sensitivity is I mean, either way it's important, but it's a different type. And I believe the default ADS sensitivity, aim down sight sensitivity, was 40% of your normal sensitivity. And so that's what they're talking about. And it is pretty, like when you're trying to go and then you aim down the sights to get that precision headshot or whatever, and then you're moving at less than half the speed, it's a little weird. It feels weird, you know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things like I had to really dial in. And I spent a few games like just tweaking both of those settings just a little bit, you know, to get me comfortable with tracking and things like that. So I think that was one of the things that I had to do within that like that first hour is just continually try to figure out where I needed to be on those sensitivities.
I fought it, and I still fight it on occasion, to be honest with you. But
When you do that, you can just got to go in there and change it.
yeah.
But
But I'm still trying to figure out what I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So so the game it started with, or I guess it launched in early access with two game modes. One of them was a what you described as, it's kind of like a mix between
Search and destroy.
well, I mean that one's straight up search and destroy, right? And then the other game mode was strikeout, and that one's like a capture point, but also
Your team has a certain amount of lives.
yeah, you've got a
Yeah.
certain amount of lives, so there's a death cap on that as well. And then
Every game is that's how it's done, right? There's a certain amount of lives in every game mode,
except for search, right? Search and destroy
except for search. Okay.
yeah. And then the new game mode, Jared, this one that just launched, it was
I think it's you know, I don't want to misquote it, so I'm not gonna say I haven't really got a chance to play it yet, but there's some differences to it.
but there's a third game mode. Each character is unique, has unique abilities. There's a lot of characters that use the same weapons, right? So you've got a set amount of weapons that you can choose from and purchase from, a certain amount of like perks. So each player has different perks available to them, different weapons. You can go and you can upgrade those perks and those weapons and secondary abilities, like throughout the game modes. So just like Valorant and CS:GO, the more kills you get, the more points you get, the more money you get to spend at the start of the next round. It's different. Like I never played CS:GO, so for me, like that's definitely a unique aspect to the game.
The buy period.
Yeah, I feel like being able to pick up somebody else's weapon, also being able to like play a character and figure out what works well for me. It makes the buying easier. So like I just know exactly like what I'm going for each round. You know, what are your thoughts on that system as compared to like COD where you just level up weapons, or Overwatch where there really is no changing of the characters? Like what do you guys think?
Well, with Overwatch, it's more based on the character than it is on the weapon setup, right? So with
Right.
this game, I would like to see them expand the kit a little bit more from a weapon selection standpoint. Like, I like playing Scorch. And Scorch has a submachine gun and a shotgun, and I think the shotguns are total hot garbage in this game. I have a hard time hitting with them.
You gotta
Maybe it's just
you
me.
gotta just run and shoot somebody in the face with them.
See, and I think that in a game where it's based on survivability and tactfulness, that doesn't really play for me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I would like to see something like or like a select fire on something like that would be really, really cool on the submachine gun, like a burst or something like that. They have the DMRs for the other characters, which are three shot bursts, but I think that you could have a lot more fun with the player or the character customization throughout the course of a match. Oh, and you're not if you had different weapons available to you, right? So it allows for replayability, things like that.
That's what I want. I honestly, the character I play, I always play support. The only thing close to support in this is that the one
Saint.
gentleman I can't Saint, thank you. With the cool hair. But his weapons, I mean, they're not the worst weapons in the game, but I would just rather have maybe one or two different, things I can choose from. So you can play whatever character you want, and there's, a way to play it that basically everybody will find enjoyable instead of like, oh, you got one of two guns. You know what I mean?
What I do like is there doesn't seem to be a character meta, right? Like with Overwatch, it was like, oh, you have to have 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS, or so on and so forth. And even with Call of Duty, in some respect too, like it's really helpful to have somebody running some machine guns, and like this game doesn't seem like there's a team meta, which I think is really helpful, right? It doesn't pigeonhole you in having to select certain characters based on what your partner is selected. Like I like playing Talon, Scorch, and that's pretty much who I like to play. Maybe Dima here and there. But what I don't like is with the buy, to go back to the buy screen, is that you can't refund if you say I picked the shotgun and I hate it, I have to use the money that I've earned to buy the submachine gun. Like there's no, you should be able to sell back the gun at a reduced rate at 50% of the cost.
Yeah, depreciation, but still being able to do it. I agree. You might have covered this a little bit earlier, but what I'm wondering is, do either of you, because this game you can't change your character once you get in, right?
Right.
And I know that was an issue, or at least one, tick on like what could be better in Rocket Arena as well for you guys. You're like, it just kind of sucks that you can't change your character. How do you feel about that in this game? I know you said, Jared, that there isn't really a character meta, but have you gone into the game, chose a character, and been like, you know what, I wish I would have grabbed someone else?
Yeah, every single time I pick Phantom.
Okay.
Every single time, like, oh, maybe this time will be different. Like I feel like that, like, bad relationship, right? Like, oh, maybe this time it'll be different with Phantom. Maybe I can actually hit with the sniper rifle, because if you hit with the sniper rifle, it is a one shot down with a headshot.
Yeah, it's just like calling your crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, like maybe this time it'll be different, guys.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so
might work this time.
It might work this time. Maybe it's changed. Yeah, I've heard it all. But no, I do enjoy the game at its base. I think it's gonna have some lasting ability within the gaming space. I don't think it's really carved its way out of any other, like I don't think it's taken the player base out of anything else. Like maybe R6. I've seen R6's numbers down a little bit on Twitch, but that's only because it's a little bit older game, and I think that Rogue Company it has the new car smell to it. So we'll see what happens in about 6 months and see if it has some staying power. I think it will.
It has the new stock car smell to it. The car that doesn't have, the tape player, and it's only got AM FM radio. You know what I mean? There is no odometer.
It's the Ford Taurus currently of the.
Yeah, it's basically like a frame of a game, but I think that's a good thing, because it's good right now. It can only get better unless the devs are like, hey, let's screw up our game.
Like
you know what I mean? They're only gonna.
You mean like there's a simplicity to it that just allows you to jump in and play without feeling like you need to have had hours and hours and hours into it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe that, and definitely that, and also kind of like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like it's only going to get better the farther it moves along. You know what I mean? Like we're just at the beginning, basically.
Yeah, I think it's going to stick around for a while.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess we should jump over then. Let's talk about a game. Like honestly, I don't think I'd ever think to play if it weren't for everybody else. And that is
honestly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good, Jer. That's Among Us. This game it's got mobile game written all over it. Super simple. The premise is you can have up to 10 people in a lobby. There's a map that has very, very simple tasks to complete. And two members out of a 10-person party are imposters. And these imposters are basically like murderers. They're going to go around, they're going to kill the other 8 members of your party and try not to get caught. And so when somebody finds a body, they can alert everybody else. And I guess, like, I don't know what game to compare this to. It's kind
of like Clue.
It's kind of like Clue, but you're playing this game, and then all of a sudden, like, somebody hits the button, and now it's time to talk about it and say, hey, who saw what? We found this body. Who do we think it is? Who are we voting off the island? Crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah, so we've had the pleasure of playing this with the activator group and with Semazing and Harmless Kitten. Who else is there? Myth was
DJ Chris, Myth,
DJ Chris. Yeah,
Rando played a little bit.
Yeah, Random played with us. So like, we've had a really good group of people that have been playing games with one another for a while. So like, the jabs don't hurt. Matter of fact, that's why I had a little, like, I showed up on the podcast today with my sunglasses on, because I was up late. We were drinking and we're playing this game, and there was a lot of shouting involved. So
that's just, he actually woke up in his chair with the sunglasses on. He hasn't moved.
Me and the Ewok back there, we cuddled. So but I mean, it's a lot of fun. Like, you're running around, you're like Chris said, you're completing these tasks and so on and so forth, and you see a dead body, you report it, and sometimes you're the imposter, which is way more fun than being a crew member, I think, because you are playing this game of what was the board game to where you had to convince somebody that it wasn't you or something like that, or not Taboo, but it's similar to that, to where, like, you go into this meeting and say somebody saw you coming from a different area of the ship that you weren't with everybody else, but that's where the body was found, and so on and so forth. You have to convince them in dramatic fashion sometimes that it wasn't you that's a killer. Because if you sabotage a ship as the imposter, if you sabotage a ship and they aren't able to fix it, or you kill everybody, the imposters win. So there is a negative and a positive faction to the whole thing. So yeah, it's a big party game. I've had a lot of fun doing it with that group. Man, it's a killer. It's a killer time.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know. Okay, first of all, Chris, not our Chris, DJ Chris, from the group. He was the one who recommended it last Friday when we were trying to do Fall Guys, but it wasn't working. And we were like, oh, Chris suggested it. We were like, oh, what are we getting ourselves into? And then we tried it. And at first, half the people were like, oh, this kind of sucks. And half the people were like, this is kind of fun. And then we kept doing it. And once we got the hang of it, it became really fun. And it's like, okay, you got 10 people. 2 of them are imposters. You can't talk during the game. And then there are 2 ways to call a meeting. You can either go back and press the emergency button at any time to stop the round and talk amongst everybody. But remember, the imposters can do all the same stuff that the normal crew members can do. So they can act like they're good guys, and then you walk past them and they see no one else around, they cut your head off, and then they go call an emergency meeting and they're like, I found a body. You know what I mean? And you gotta weed out who are the imposters, and the imposters, like they say, can sabotage or they can do good things. So if you're near them and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna do this task real quick to make them think I'm a good guy, and then they go and sabotage the reactor or something like that. And yeah, you gotta whittle it down. If you don't get the 2 imposters after, is it 3 rounds? 3 rounds max?
I don't recall, but
okay, well, if you don't call out the 2 imposters, the imposters win, basically. And with the sense of mystery also comes, like, the imposters can start putting blame on someone else, like, oh, I saw this person do this thing. And like last night, like, Chris bum rushed me, and I was like, it wasn't me, but you guys can waste your votes, and they did, and they voted me down, and I fell in the lava, and it wasn't me. But last night was actually really fun because Jer decided to disgrace our friendship, and he was murdering people.
I
And
killed like
Chris,
4 guys in one round. 4 people in one
Yeah.
round. Gone.
And DJ Chris was like, "It's Robinson. It's Robinson. It's Robinson. I know it's Robinson. It's Robinson." Chris is telling me it's one of my best friends. I'm not gonna trust him, and so I vote for Chris. And again, not Shiesty Chris. And so I vote that it was Chris that's the bad guy, and I was wrong. It was actually Jer. So the next round I came in and I'm the imposter, and I was just like slowly like following Jer around the map until I got my chance, and I just cut his head off. And then the next round, I think he was the imposter again, and I voted him out. So I win basically at life.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. And
so
yeah.
one of the things that I find interesting with the game, I mean, besides being just a fun party game, there's a few different maps, but there's a ton of customization. Yeah, so you've got the option to, if you want to make more than 2 imposters, you can make more than 2 imposters. You can change the time between so when you are an imposter and you kill somebody, there's a cooldown period, and you can change the cooldown period. You can change the distance that it takes like to kill somebody. So if you want to, widen it a little bit to add to the mystery, or if you want to shorten it so that you have to be right on top of the other person. There's a lot of...
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of customization to the game to like really tailor it to something that's
awesome
that you want to play. So
this is one of those indie games that you really want to see. Obviously made by a small crew. They did a really good job, but it's the perfect, inexpensive party game. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Enter the Gungeon of party games. It's a really well-developed indie game. Well, I guess Devolver, they're still I don't know, they might be, I don't know. Anyway, what I'm saying is it's a really good indie game, and I love indie games. I love good indie games. I love to see smaller groups do really fun stuff like this.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the game lends itself well to like live streaming, because this is a game that's gonna force all kinds of drama each round. So if you want to see people yell at each other and accuse each other of murder, like this is the game to watch, definitely.
And if you follow multiple people playing the game and they're all streaming, you can watch multiple streams, and you can actually be in on the villainy. Like you can be watching someone stream, like say Jer's the bad guy. You can watch his stream, but you could also be watching Shiesty's stream, and Jer's hunting Shiesty down, and you're in on it. But so you get to see all the background action. It is a very fun game to watch as well as stream, because of that. Like last night I was watching beforehand, and yeah, you get all the inside action, and it's funny because you can mess with the bad guy or like talk to the bad guy while they're doing the bad things, and you aren't able to do that when you're in game.
It's awesome.
So but yeah, that's what we got. Oh, by the way, Among Us is $4.99 on the Steam store right now.
$4.99,
definitely worth it.
$4.99.
If you have people to play with, I would say it's definitely worth a buy.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked it out yet, log on over to the Among Us Twitch page and check out the people streaming it, because I guarantee you it's gonna be a fun watch.
Yeah, and there's we like to play with friends too, so if you're interested in playing sometime or something like that, you can always, DM us or whatever, if you want to get in on the action and if we have space.
All right, that brings us to Jer's new favorite drinking game. Jer,
my favorite.
Talk to us about Fall Guys.
Fall Guys. Fall Guys is the new hip game, guys. It's a cartoony, sort of wibbly wobbly character that you get the bounce off everybody. Anyway, it's basically American Gladiators. In the I'm gonna keep throwing that reference out there.
Okay, look, we're probably the only 2 guys that know what American Gladiators was.
3.
You should probably like be saying like American Ninja Warrior.
I think he means me and
or-
Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's more Ninja Warrior anyway, because there aren't people like shooting tennis balls at your face. But it is
I don't know, there
an
are-
obstacle course.
Yeah.
No, you're right. But it is like an obstacle course, and you're these really wobbly, folly down, like goofy characters, and it's just it's like Mario Party meets.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, it's cartoony and goofy, but it's really fun, and it's easy to get into, but for me it's really hard to get good at. I get to the 3rd round and I'm happy. You know what I mean? I've never got a dub. So
I've never got a dub either, but my goal is to get to the 3rd round every game, so that's steady progression, right? So if you can get to the 3rd round, you give yourself a chance. But I think some of the controls are a little wonky a little bit for me anyway, the way it's set up.
And we're playing with keyboard and mouse, by the way. I haven't tried with controller. And you are pretty good, Jer. You got to the 3rd round consistently when we were playing together. I got knocked out first most of the time.
It's the ones where you got to grab the tails and all that other stuff. It makes it a little bit difficult. So there's
the team games are harder.
There's a slew of different style of games, right? And each round you're either doing an obstacle course, and then the next one you could be playing basically like a 2-ball Rocket League or Lucio ball, and the winner team of that goes on, and everybody else is eliminated. So it is a big battle royale in a weird way, but not. It's I don't know. Like, so I can get into it. Go ahead.
So basically, it's how many people did we start with? Is it 40?
60.
60. So you start with 60 people. And there are essentially 5 rounds that you go through. The first round is going to knock out 20 players automatically. It's like the top 40. And then after that, it's basically whoever passes each of the next consecutive rounds. So tons. Joe, it's going off. Do you have a bomb over there?
Oh, he's got stuff going on. Let him be.
Anyway,
right, continue.
So, I don't know why, but I pictured Speed for a second. Like he's got to keep the bus over 55 miles an hour.
My house is burning down. Continue.
So anyway, yeah. So you've got like the 5 rounds, tons of different game modes. So every time you play, it's basically a different game, different players against you. You are these cute little wibbly wobbly characters. The further you progress, like when you win, you get a crown to use in the shop, which gives you access to special skins and things like that. That's
how you get the crowns.
Yeah. Okay. There's also in-game currency. You can pick up a little currency for like progressing. You can also buy the currency. It's just a fun game, just a fun party game, right?
Yeah. Javi tried to make it into a drinking game. It didn't necessarily work that way.
Oh, you get if you turn that into a drinking game, you are getting alcohol poisoning. You're going to the hospital.
Every time you fail, take a shot.
That's like taking a shot every single time I say, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
It's like you're out within 30 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry about the noise. I just had an alarm go off for something else that I did yesterday. But yeah, I super enjoy the game, and I would actually like to play it with you two very soon, along with all the other games we're talking about. But I think playing Fall Guys with Jared the other night was probably one of the most fun times that I've had in a while playing games, just because it's like, you know what, it's lighthearted. If you fall but your friend goes on, you can watch them, you know what I mean? That they don't make it super easy to, like, if you're in a party and you get eliminated, you should automatically go to watch a party member, to spectate a party member after you've died, but it doesn't. It just puts you on some random person, and everybody is Fall Guy, 1024, Fall Guy 1478. That no one has their actual name, so like you have to scroll through.
I think they just fixed that though, right, Jer?
When me and Joe played it the other day, it still hadn't been fixed.
Yeah, so I had to scroll through a ton of people to find Jared, but it is worth it to stick around and watch your party members. It's great.
We did spot a cheater.
Oh, did you come across one?
Yeah.
And I know, Chris, like every single game that we play with you, you're like, no, the guy's hacking. Oh, the guy's cheating. Da 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 da. Okay, well, whatever. And we always play it off like, okay, that's just Chris doing his thing, right? This time we saw one like literally hit the Jado boosters and just shoot through the obstacle course. I was like,
But at the same time, I do want to preface this because in the past, when Chris has called out cheaters, I'm usually kind of like, I doubt it, dude. But after the last episode, when we were talking about, well, when y'all were talking about cheating and I was in chat, I didn't realize how prevalent it was. So that's on me. I think it's much more prevalent than a lot of us think it is, people cheating. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I wanted to say that because I am very skeptical, but now I'm less skeptical. You know what I mean?
You know what though is like I don't think I haven't seen one yet in Fall Guys or like Among Us or like any of the party games. I don't know. Like I think that's probably a different story. Like I'll bring that up. But so the other day I had a really crappy connection to Apex, and with my really crappy connection, I landed every freaking shot. Like.
I still don't understand how that works because I know it's a glitch that some people use.
It has to do with netcode and the way like tie goes to the person with the crappiest connection.
Yeah.
But like, dude, like I had a wingman, dude. I was knocking guys, and I wouldn't even be able to see them, and they'd be dropping, and I'd be getting credit for the hits. Like it was like a 4 second, it's like a 4 second delay. Like they're around cover, and then they're just dropping. I'm like, wait, what the hell? Like this sucks. Like this connection sucks. And yet I'm getting like, I don't know. I was kill leader for a while, had like 12 kills, 13 kills, 2,000 damage. I'm like, what the, I'm like, wait,
Chris actually,
I'm like, what
for
the hell?
once, Chris is the one benefiting from cheating.
I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm benefiting from a crappy connection. Like, how is this? Yeah. I'm like, oh, now I understand. Like, maybe I should just like drop my internet tier like a few. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll be so much better.
Let me learn to play on a little bit of a delay.
It's like, your Walmart internet.
Yeah. Let me just steal the neighbors for a month and see how that goes.
Sure, why not?
Anyway, back to Fall Guys. Cute game. How much is it going for right now?
$19.99 for the standard edition, $29.99 for an edition that I think gives you some skins and stuff like that.
So I mean, between both Among Us and Fall Guys, you can basically have two games for less than the price of a AAA title, like what we're talking about, like $35, or $25. Yeah, dude, I think both of those games are worth it. Those are both super fun games to play with, if you've got a decent group of people.
If you have a lot of people, Among Us would be easier to do if you're trying to shuffle a ton of people, but because the maximum group size in Fall Guys is 4. But either way, like they're just both great, and yeah, they're both goofy fun.
All right, Jer, anything else for Fall Guys?
Nothing. My cat is freaking out on the other side of the door he wants, and that's why I muted my mic, so you can probably hear him every once in a while.
Just let him in, dude.
All right. Yeah, it's basically what it is.
All right, Joe. Every week you have a segment, and that segment is called
"Look at all those gamers." I don't know if that one's gonna land. So it's you guys remember the meme. So it's a little shorter today. We're gonna talk about some sales. Epic Store right now, free from. Today's the 15th, free from the 13th to the 20th. Remnant from the Ashes, a great Souls-like shooting game, is free, and so is the Alto collection. I would definitely recommend at least going by and picking up Remnant from the Epic Store. Can't talk. Because that's a super solid game and it's free. I can't believe it's free right now. Next week it will be Enter the Gungeon and God's Trigger. Both solid games. Pick them up. They're free. I mean, you don't got to install them. Just have them.
Did you
might want to play them in the future.
Did you say the Altos games are free? Like Altos Odyssey and Altos?
Yeah, the Alto collection.
Ooh, like if you haven't played those are great mobile games, or at least initially they were mobile games. Pick those up. Those are fun just to spend some time with.
Yeah, and like I said, they're free. They're free on the Epic Store. Just wherever you are, going to the Epic Store, get yourself some free games. Super solid games for this week and next week. Humble Bundle. So for this month, subscribe to Humble Bundle Choice Premium, which is $19.99, which is the $19.99 option, and get all 12 games instead of the normal 9 choices you have out of the 12 games. It's an over $300 value. I really think it's worth it. Even if you don't want to continue the subscription, you should just do it even this month because you get all 12. It's an insane deal. Let's see. You'll also, for however many months you're subscribed, get up to 20% off the Humble store on any other games you want. But I always recommend before you buy a game at full price, go to Humble, see if it's on sale, see if you can get a sale. And you can also give people once a month, you can give a friend 20% off. And if you refer a friend, you get $8 in your Humble credit. It's Humble. Always check Humble before you do it at full price. So this will tie back into the title, gaming popularity. A new study shows that 3 billion people play video games worldwide now, which is, we're 7+ billion, it's pretty, basically like the entire population of China and India together play games. Also in July, video game sales reached 3.6 billion. So a couple billions there. Game releases this month, Horizon Zero Dawn came out on PC, and Fall Guys, those are a couple big hit titles this month. But another you should keep your eye out for is Battletoads. It's being revived and it will release on Xbox and PC on the 20th. And just one more quick side note, The Boys Season 2 is out on September 4th. If you haven't already seen the first season, check it out. It is one of the best superhero shows on TV. It's based on a great comic by the same name. So yeah, this has been Look at All Those Gamers. Chris?
Nice, Joe. Yeah, The Boys, super dark comedy. It's great.
Super good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been waiting for season 2 for a while. I feel like I watched season 1 like 3 years ago. Like that's how long it feels like.
I'm gonna rewatch it before the 4th.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's about that time. We should probably talk about a streamer in a channel that we would like to recommend to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this particular episode's streamer is going to be Bar Down.
No, you got to restart that, dude.
Okay, go. You go.
You need to like. Oh, look, I know you're hungover, but you need to like take your energy from like here to like here. All right.
You should be saying that to me after the segment I just pulled.
All right, fine. This week's streamer, or this episode's streamer, is going to be Bar Down.
Wait. Hold on. Like, dude, be genuine with it, man. Like,
I am being genuine. I like Bart. I like beefs.
He's that guy that doesn't know how to smile.
I know.
He's like that guy that he's like in all of his pictures.
What do I do with my what do I do with my hands?
No.
All right.
Yeah. So this episode's streamer of the episode, however, we haven't even named this.
You're good,
yet.
dude.
What do you mean we haven't named it?
We haven't named it. Just deal with it.
This week's streamer of the week, Bar Down Beef.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Joe coming in big.
3 point
Versus the hungover guy.
So Bar Down Beef is a channel that I became. Well, I forget. I started watching somehow, and turns out he's a Canadian boy from Calgary. He's a big hockey guy, so he and I obviously bonded right off the bat. So he was pretty interested in the fact that I was a hockey fan from LA. So that's anyway. So whenever you follow his channel, it is what it is. Whenever somebody follows his channel, he has a little Tykes basketball hoop, and he does a swish. He does some pretty intricate things. He does Wifey Wednesdays, so him and his wife will do they did ad libs a couple weeks ago, and none of them know what a pronoun is or anything. So it was kind of interesting as it was. He's also giving me the nickname Rolly because apparently he can't say my name. He probably can't say Shiesty. He probably definitely can't say Shabadoo. So yeah, he does. He plays a lot of Grim Dawn, a lot of dungeon crawler games and things like that. A lot of survival games as well. You know, that's exactly how I found him. He was playing Green Hell. I watched him playing Green Hell for the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So good guy. Go check his channel out. Bar Down Beef. Tell him Rolly sent you and the Bitrate crew, and he'll give you a shout out. He's a real genuine guy. He does a lot of charity streams as well with his stream team.
Solid dude, solid streamer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good times, guys. Bar Down Beef.
And he
loves... is it one word or is it...
It's all one word.
Yeah.
Bar
yeah.
Down Beef.
Okay, because it's on there with tutors. So BARDOWN Bar Down Beef.
Yeah. And he loves the Boston Bruins.
I mean, we won't hold that against him.
No,
nobody likes the Bruins.
Sharks, baby. San Jose. No.
All right. So where can we find you guys this week? Joe, what's going on?
Possibly on my Twitch channel. I'm trying to get that all set back up and everything. I got my Streamlabs going again. So yeah, possibly twitch.tv/Shabadoo, SHABBAD00. My Twitch, JJ Shabadoo. It's actually it's spelled normally because someone didn't steal my name yet. SHABBAD00. Sorry, what was that, Jer?
Try again.
All right. Okay.
It's your Twitter. We're gonna look, Joe. We're just gonna
search for.
We're just gonna put it down in the links. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Okay. Yeah. Check. Why'd you even ask me then? Check down in the description, y'all.
Oh man, Jared. How about you, man? What are you doing this
Saturday morning recordings are there? We can't do them anymore. Okay. Especially after a long night with Sam. So. Yeah. Anyway, so you can find me this week. We always do these recordings right when I go back to work. So I'll be doing some day streams. I do have a vacation coming up, so I'll be kind of the MIA for a little bit. But I will be around. You can check our Discord as well. Go ahead and throw our Discord link in the whatchamacallit. We are going to be starting a Twitter this week. That is another thing, and an Instagram. So you're going to start seeing clips from our streamers of the week and clips from the YouTube channel as well. And she broke the boomer big time, man. She messed me up. Anyway.
Okay, Jer's referring to someone in Twitch chat. It's actually amazing in Twitch chat said she broke the boomer, referring to getting Jer super hammered last night.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna keep playing some Rogue Company as well, and hopefully I can get off work early enough to play some Among Us with the crew again next week. Chris, what are you going to be doing?
Well, I've been MIA the past week doing crap around the house that I didn't want to do. So this coming week, I should be back onto my Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Hopefully playing some Rogue Company. Hopefully,
Jared, stop playing with your pussy on stream.
Hey. This is El Cheeto Gato.
Sorry, Chris.
El Cheeto Gato. Gato Pantalones. All right. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna try to get into the party games on next Friday if it's happening. So visit the Twitch for that. Watch for that. Links will be in the description below. I can't talk.
I don't think any of us can. Can I just interject? I really am going to try to stream sometime this week. If it doesn't happen before Friday, then I will definitely get down in on the party games on Friday. I'll plan on it. So, yeah, because I know I keep saying it and I'm letting everybody down. So I'm going to do it. So Friday at the latest.
All right.
TV, Shabadoo, SHABBAD00.
All right.
Not Shabad.
Not Shab.
Yes, call me whatever you want, dude. I've been called worse things than Shabad.
All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for showing up and being here. And yeah, guys, you want to say good night?
Night.
Love you all. Thank you for
Afternoon.
watching the stream. We love all of our viewers and listeners, but yeah, thanks guys. We appreciate it. We know it's noon on Saturday and you could be somewhere else, but you're here. So we love you.
Yeah. And later, gamers.
Later.